this evening at this very historic and special and significant moment for so many Australians, but also so many Indians as well. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land on which we gather, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I thank Siwa Singh, the coordinator and president of the association in Australia, and committee members for their hard work and dedication in pulling together so many people. I'd also like to acknowledge Swami Jianji Maharaja, Mrs. Achana Singh, the Honourary Consul of India, always wonderful to be at events with our hard-working Consul General. Swami Ashpurash Daji, Swami Atmasanjnaj and Sri Madan Mohan Ji, the Honourary Secretary of the Kurukshetra Development Board, all the guests, speakers, attendees, and in the capacity as the federal member for Oxley, I'm proud to represent one of the most multicultural parts of Australia. 60,000 people who I represent in the electorate of Oxley out of about 170,000 were born overseas. And I'm very proud to represent one of the largest Indian communities, the subcontinent communities in the nation. Our mix of unique cultures is an unimaginable part of fabric of Australia. Just to think, if we didn't have our friends from India calling Australia home, how different our country would be. I acknowledge constituents of mine here tonight, Mrs. Neetu Singh and Mr. Ash Misra, very experienced leaders in my community who I'm proud to call friends. And of course, Umesh, who's here, who's been a friend of mine for almost 20 years, a very respected leader and a great influencer in our wider Brisbane community. But I guess the best part of my job is that I have the opportunity to learn so much, to understand, to appreciate, and to have a better understanding of just what so many people have brought to this country, their beliefs, their values, their ideals. But tonight, I'm here in an official capacity as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and on behalf of the Australian Parliament, which represents 25 million people, to accept the Holy Bhagavad Gita. And I know I would have loved to accept this during your time in Canberra in Parliament House, but unfortunately this week is not a sitting week. And I do bring the best wishes, thoughts and respect from our local representative here, Dr. Jim Chalmers, the Treasurer of Australia, and of course, who I'm very proud of, my brother, Cameron Dick, whose electorate we are in this evening. I spoke to Cameron earlier this morning. He is currently leading a trade mission in South America and asked to pass on his deepest respects. To say it is an honour and privilege to receive the Gita today is an understatement. In fact, I'd go to say it's one of the proudest moments of my life, to be able to stand here with respected elders, respected holy men, and members of our wider community. It is one of the most sacred and revered texts, and I'm so moved that you would be so generous to give this to the Australian Parliament today. It gives me immense sense of pride and honour to meet with Swamiji today, to hear about the inspiration, the research, but also the customs and tradition where this holy text has inspired so many global leaders and professionals. It is an absolute honour to be presented the Holy Gita by a person of your stature. I have deep admiration for Lord Krishna, who 5,000 years ago delivered profound skills to Arjuna in the battlefield. Krishna was a renowned king, ace politician and friend of the Pandavas. I'm particularly driven by Gita's 11th chapter, where Krishna's avatar passes on the supreme knowledge to Arjuna of duty, karma, to re-establish justice during the war. Krishna manifested himself in order to reinstate an ace diplomat and politician of excellence who thoroughly knew the ins and outs of the field. Gita's message to perform one's duty without feeling attached to its outcome is what has guided my sense of duty at Parliament. I'm extremely proud of the Australian Hindus, particularly the ones I stand before this evening. Hindus in my constituency, through principles of Gita, have guided and served our community during the pandemic, the floods just over 12 months ago, and continued to guide myself through the difficult decisions that lie ahead for our nation. The peaceful, vibrant spirit of Hindus of Australia continues to push Australia forward through their skills and talents in science, technology, commerce, health, and even frontline services. And I know I speak on behalf of every parliamentarian, from our Prime Minister who visited India earlier this year, to our Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, my great friend of many here, who was in India a matter of weeks ago, and of course my brother, who also has visited India in the past month. Myself will be leading a parliamentary delegation later this year to India, and tonight's experience I will carry with me as a true privilege and true honour when I set foot in India. I do wish to acknowledge another special person in my life and someone who has assisted me greatly, and that's Ms. Akashika Moha from the National Legal Committee of Hindu Council of Australia, for your fierce advocacy, your guiding light to ensure that the work of the Council continues to prosper so much. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your friendship and your influence. Friends, thank you for your generosity of gifting the Gita. It is a gift that will be greatly appreciated, and it will be treated with the utmost respect that it deserves. Our Parliament, our nation, will be so much stronger for the wise words and the inspiration that the Holy Book will impart upon all of us. Friends, I would like to conclude by saying Dhanyavad for this honour. India has a special place in my heart, and this book will have a special place in all of Australia's hearts.